Hey everybody, my name's Malachi O'Brien. Uh, Sometimes I go by the name Dr. Run, but I wanted to come to you today in this video to talk to you about 5 lessons I learned running 153 daily consecutive marathons. You heard that right. 1 year ago, I completed my 153rd daily consecutive marathon. It was an adventure that started on October the 7th of 2022, and it ended on March the 8th of 2023, exactly 1 year ago. And so, what I wanted to do is just share with you 5 dynamic lessons that I learned from running those marathons that hopefully will be in a book. But the reason why I'm sharing these with you, and I want you to watch this entire video, is because I know you can do more. I know you can do more. I know you were made for more. And I know that deep inside, you yourself know there's something in you that's pushing you for more. You just don't know where to start or how to get this accomplished. And so, just 5 things I want to share with you that will hopefully be a help for you today. Number one, okay, number one, I learned is that all great ideas start with an impossible dream. I'll be honest with you. I never thought in my life I would run 153 daily consecutive marathons. That would have been about a little over 4,000 miles. That would have been on average around 5 to 6 hours a day running. Now, I was doing this for a Guinness World Record. And so each of these runs had to be outside. I had to video record the entire run. And uh, I mean, literally, you couldn't stop. Once you started, you had to continue going, at least video recording. It didn't matter how long it took you, you had to keep going. So it wasn't like you could run 5 miles here or 5 miles there. But the reality is, when I decided to do this, I was inspired by another runner, a lady who was running and breaking the Guinness World Record for most daily consecutive marathons for a female. And so I looked up the men's record and realized at the time it was 60. I thought, I think I can do that. And so I emailed Guinness. I registered for the whole thing, waited 12 weeks to get the reply that I was in, that I could do this. An impossible idea. And so I set a date and then I moved that date and I moved it again. And then finally, I just put the date out there in public. We're starting on this date. And so I decided to run a marathon every single day. And the newness wore off very fast. But why is that first lesson so important? Because every one of us need to keep dreaming big. We need to have some moonshot goals. We need to have some things that to everybody else seem extreme or crazy. All right. I kind of live to make coffee nervous, but everybody needs an impossible dream. And I would love to hear your impossible dream. What is something so big, so crazy that if you shared it with anybody, they would maybe think you were a little over the edge or you were bragging or who are you to dream those kind of things. And so it started simply with an impossible dream. Actually, it started the day it started was after I had a conversation with Tony Robbins. It was after a free challenge he did in January a few years ago, and I had a brief moment to speak to him on stage, on the Facebook stage, and something ignited within me when Tony said that you have to take massive action if you want to change your life. And I knew that I wanted to take massive action. I wanted to see my life change. So it began on that day. All right. That's lesson number one. And I just want to know, do you have an impossible dream? Don't don't live your life average. Don't settle for mediocre. Don't just do barely enough to get by. Find something that you love and go all out in it. Set a crazy goal for any area of your life. For me, I'm a runner, but this running was more than just running for me. All right. Number two, um, People ask me often, how did you get through 153 consecutive marathons? And here was my answer. I never worried about the next day. I was always focused on the day that I was on. And actually, I was actually only focused on the mile at that moment that I was running. Why is that so important? Because we hijack our present by worrying too much about our future or our past. I've heard it said before that we get crucified between the two thieves, the thief of yesterday and the thief of tomorrow. So I'm telling you that the key to doing something crazy is not to focus on a month from now, 2 months from now. It's to stay all present in the moment that you are in. So it was every mile. I knew if I could go run a mile, if I could get that first mile done, I knew that I could do 25 more. And so I remember the day that it was literally minus 20 degrees below. We were in Woodland Park, Colorado for a family Christmas vacation, and I needed to go run this marathon. So how'd you do it? I focused on the mile. I can run a mile in minus 20 below. Now it was cold. I'm not gonna lie, it was cold. All right. But I did it. Each and every one of us just need to just focus on this right now. How can I change how I feel now? How can I change how I think now? How can I change what I do now? Not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, not next year, but now. And so I'm just convinced most people quit because they get overwhelmed at the magnitude. You think, how can I change this area of my life? And you're focused on all that it'll take. Just focus on one part of it. One part of it. You want to get closer to Jesus? Focus on this next hour of your life. You want to improve your health? Focus on the next decision you make that affects your health. What you eat, what you do, where you go. But you need laser focus on the day. All right, the day. Don't worry about tomorrow. We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. There was one day I went running. It's the only day I got really close to quitting, and it was a day that in the middle of the night, I had a 102, 103-degree fever, and I was sick. Bottom line, I was sick in every way you can imagine. And so, but I knew it took 9 hours that day to get it done, and I focused one step at a time. All right, lesson number 3. Um, I quickly realized, I kind of thought I was running so others would be impressed and discover who I am. But I learned in doing this challenge that it wasn't so much so others would know who I am. It was so that I would know who I am. In doing hard challenges and going through hard times, you find out who you are, what you're made of. And that's why I ran, to discover when I didn't think I could go any further. Who am I? Who am I? And I decided that in advance. And I made up this moniker, Dr. Run, and I'm keeping it. Okay. If David Goggins can be Goggins, I can be Dr. Run. If James Lawrence can be the Iron Cowboy, I can be Dr. Run. But I discovered that Dr. Run does not get tired. Dr. Run does not quit. Dr. Run does not make excuses. Maybe the challenge you're facing right now that you're trying to avoid is actually a gift. It's a gift that's going to show you who you are so you can get better. I have discovered the only way to improve and get better is to come up to hardest moments and to break through Just recently, I competed in a backyard ultra in St. Louis, the Queenie Backyard Ultra. And what I love about ultra marathon races is I love it when I get to a point that I cannot keep going. And now in my mind, I'm trying to negotiate on how to gracefully exit the race. And then in that moment, I tell myself, I have to keep going. And here's why. Because if I can enlarge the pain cave, if I can break through in this moment, I can find a new part of me who I am for the future. It makes me better. That's why I do these insane challenges. And so these difficult moments will help you discover who you are. I thought I was running at the beginning so others would know who I was, but actually I was running to discover who I am. Number 4, let me give you this and I'll finish these quickly. Number 4 is excuses. I discovered in running 153 daily consecutive marathons that it's not the external things that stop us. It's not the weather. It's not the family. It's not social media. It's not the news. It's not the government. It's not our bank account. It's none of the it's nothing external has the power to stop you, truly. What I discovered was it's the internal dialogue you have with yourself that has the power to stop you. It's not about how cold it is, how hot it is, how hard it is. It's honestly all about what you choose to believe on the inside. And if you choose to believe you're unstoppable, you can run in minus 20 degrees below. You can run when it's pouring down rain, and it did that many days. And I ran in the rain for hours. You can run when people almost run you over. That happened. I almost got hit several times. Okay. You can run when it's 1 a.m. or 12 or 11:58 p.m. You see, when you're going after crazy things, all right, you have to break the limitations of what's possible, and it's never convenient. But you know what? I wasn't going to let the external things stop me. I was on a mission, on a goal, and I had this internal dialogue. I will not be stopped. I will not be stopped. I will not be stopped. And I don't want you to be stopped. But I promise you, you need to rewire what's saying on the inside and stop listening to the noise on the outside. And number five, lastly, number five, what I discovered is you have to always be setting new goals. I accomplished 153 daily consecutive marathons. And within 48 hours, that feeling of awesomeness was pretty much gone. Pretty much gone. And you have to set new goals. And so I reflect on my life, and it's one of the things I've learned. It's why people get depressed when a vacation is almost over and they can't figure it out. It's because you have to set the next vacation. It's why people don't know why after great moments in life they feel a little depressed. It's because you always have to be chasing something new, something bigger, something harder, something different. And so I've set some new goals for my life. I'm in the midst of right now a 28-day juice fast juice challenge. Why? Because um, I let the momentum of running those marathons kind of dwindle, especially because I had to take months off because of some injuries. But then during the summer, I dwindled and I found myself back to some terrible habits of eating and limited exercise. And I had to say, no, enough's enough. We have to keep going and chasing new goals. Running a half marathon every day is one of my goals. Running some more backyard ultras is one of my goals. I have goals. You have goals. You have to keep setting new goals. So I ran 153 daily consecutive marathons. Hopefully, it's certified as a Guinness record soon. But I'm here to tell you, you can do it too. And I'll give you a bonus answer I didn't put in the top five. You need to choose your hard. Decide what you call hard in life. I never called running a marathon every day hard. Here's why. Because having cancer is hard. Losing a friend to suicide is hard. All right. Choosing to run every day, that was a choice. It was a challenge, not hard. Choose your hard. All right. I hope these lessons I learned help you. I want to keep putting out content to help you in every area of your life, spiritually, absolutely, emotionally, business life, relationships, every area. But those are just some things I learned. So that's going to finish this video from Dr. Run. Then I hope you have a phenomenal rest of your day. Go make coffee nervous. Live with energy.